This place, and you can see the Statue of Liberty raising on a lamp as you pass by, is a doorway for so many people to the American dream. And so many people came here with that dream in their heart. You know, America's about dreams, and I don't say that loving. I mean, there's a certain degree of this place that's based on delusion. Imagery and, delusion. Imagery and, delusion. Imagery and, I'm gonna make something of myself. I'm gonna be what no one said I can be. And, I'll pull myself up by my bootstraps. I'll pull myself up by my bootstraps. Bootstraps. Pulls up by your bootstraps, that's fucking impossible. And that metaphor is lost on most people. Lost on most people. And what the Order of the Concrete Fist represents was supposed to be the fly in that ointment. You understand? Things are not always what you want them to be. They're not always what you dream that they are. Things are what they are, and it is what it is. And
yeah, I guess I definitely feel that way these days.
In any case, what we represent, our role here in the city, is to be that reminder to a place that's often filled with lies and illusions. That eventually the smoke and mirrors fades away and you hit brick. That there is something real and it needs to be acknowledged and respected.
So last weekend, I was like throwing myself into work, into YouTube, into just hobbies, doing anything, that kind of stuff. And I had a Monday day off. So I'm just in the shower, enjoying my Monday off, thinking like, hey, oh my god, like I'm very thankful because I am able to take this extra day of rest after a very busy weekend. I'm gonna have such a great time. I'm gonna have such a restful day because I've been working on fulfilling some plans. I've been looking forward to moving my life forward with the people I love. And I was just like very excited to have a free day of doing some driver's ed. But then, as if it's like Zeus strikes his lightning through my brain. And I just get this thought, what if I don't get a visa? I'm an immigrant. And I have been here for close to 10 years, but this is the year when I find out whether I can actually stay here or not. The thought I had is, wait a second, what if I get kicked out? I put off thinking about this for a very long time because I was like, well, there's always be another thing. There'll always be another try. But I have realized that any plans that I have been making, I need to very much pause, if not stop, until God knows when. One of the biggest goals that I've had is making the step to potentially move in with someone who I really wanted to be with. I had everything planned out emotionally. I had everything planned out financially as well. We're very close to everything. I was very confident in my ability to be able to do this. And I was really looking forward to it. After such a difficult second half of 2023, when, I was just trying to work on myself as a person. I was just trying to not be someone shitty. In that entire time, I entirely forgot all of the other parts of my life that present a struggle. I was focusing on something that I had control over, and I guess made a decision at some point to forget about the parts that I did not have control over. And 2 weeks into me finally getting comfortable with myself as a person, feeling like I can finally look forward to something in the future and that I might deserve it, I remembered one of those things that I have put off thinking about, which is that I am an immigrant. I am a person who cannot start planning her life, start planning to move in with someone, or start looking forward to things, because at any moment when my visa runs out, I have close to no guarantee that I will stay here. The way the immigration system works is that it doesn't matter how long you've been here, it doesn't matter how long that you might have grown up here, it doesn't matter how much money you've paid to institutions here, it doesn't matter whether you contributed something or not. If you are a worker who is trying to get a work visa, none of that will be accounted. And I realized that at this point, my life comes down to this one lottery. This is my last chance to qualify for a work visa, but through a lottery system, and if I don't, I will have to leave. So I realized that my life, my future, hinges on this one lottery. And until I find out, I cannot allow myself to look forward to anything. I cannot allow myself to make plans. I cannot allow myself to have that much hope for my relationships, for any goals, for making a long-term difference in the community, because there's a very clear date when all of it is going to end. So the first few days of realizing this uncertainty, I just had a general feeling like, okay, well, I have to reevaluate my life a little bit. Let's pause thinking about other stuff. The first 2 days of me thinking about this were more rational, but by Wednesday, the emotions started hitting me, because by that point, it's not just that I have to pause thinking about some things. It's that the thoughts of, what if I have to leave? What am I going to do then? What is going to come of my relationships? Will the people who I love move on when they also lose hope in me being able to be here? All of those thoughts started coming into my mind, and that's when it hit me emotionally, like how impactful this decision will be on my life. How impactful this, not even decision, but this random event. Thankfully, I had a therapy session that day, and I was just trying to explain the emotional aspect of it in therapy, and when my therapist said, well, but there's still a chance that you'll get it, right? Like, what could be the chances? And I'm like, well, actually, I don't know. Let's look this up, because maybe I'm overreacting about this a little bit. So at that point in my mind, I was like, wait a second, like, I think the chances are like 50-50, so I don't think I should be. I think there's a way for me to stay regulated, because I think I am overreacting of how unlikely this actually is. But when I look it up, I find out that 1 in 10 people who apply for a work visa actually get it. So it is not a 50-50 chance. It is a 90% chance that I will not get it. And the level of distress that I experienced looking at those numbers was insurmountable, because I looked back on the past 10 years of me being here. I look at this and I'm like, so this is what it comes down to? My parents worked so hard for me to be here, for me to be able to be in this culture and meet the people who are here. And this is what it comes down to? A 90% chance that it will not work out? And I started crying so hard. That day I already cried for 30 minutes in the shower. My poor roommate waiting outside, just needing to use the bathroom. But when I looked at those numbers, it was probably like the rock bottom of my suffering. I saw like all my hopes and dreams, all of the things that I was looking forward to, like the faces of all the people that I wanted to be around, who I still wanted to meet in the future. I saw the face of the person who I want to be with and who I was planning to move in with. It just all like flashed in front of my eyes, and I realized like I have been so delusional. I've been so delusional to think that it can all work out when there's a 90% chance that it will not. So and it hurt so badly.
Straight from all Christmas trees.
Yes. This is a very nasty way to keep someone waiting. This is a very nasty kind of uncertainty with such high stakes that I'm just trying to go day to day and like function and at least like try to get myself food. But it's so difficult like doing that. Like it's so difficult to dissociate myself. It's so difficult to want to take care of myself when this is happening. Something changed over this week that made me feel so weak, so powerless, in doing even everyday things. But there was also something just like even ideologically that affected me. Oh god, I look so ugly when I cry. Anyway, I think maybe what I'm having trouble with is the feeling of unworthiness. When I realize that no matter how hard I work on myself, no matter how good of a person I try to be, this one government entity still deems me unworthy and has the power to rip away my personal life from me? How am I supposed to think that I am worthy of anything? How am I supposed to think that I can look forward to anything? How am I supposed to think that I deserve to be somewhere and that I will be welcome there? I did not plan to make this a crying video, as everybody who cries in videos says. But I mean, like, even now, like, I'm trying so hard to keep it together, but like, it's still very much not working. Yeah. The part that is difficult for me to come to terms with is the connections I have made and how much danger they are put in in this uncertainty. I would be fine if in this entire time I did not meet people who I valued. I would be fine if in this entire time I had not made connections which I would want to grow and continue. I would be fine if I did not love anybody here genuinely, but I do. So when my entire life here is put at risk, when the immigration system poses an existential threat to my presence here, it is not just something that affects me. It's something that affects my loved ones. It would be fine if I had no attachments, no hopes and dreams to hold on to here. And I could just move on to the next place and look forward to it and be really excited about it. But I have made connections that I really value. There are genuinely people who I would be ready to start building a life with, but that I can't because of this. And that is very difficult. One reason why this whole thing is scary is because, if I leave with very little hope of coming back, they will have every right to move on from me. They will have every right to look around at their life, not see me there, and continue building relationships with other people, and move in with them, start a family with them. They will have every right to take care of themselves and their emotional needs, their hopes and dreams with people who are actually there. And so far, there's a 90% chance that it will not be me. Which is a very difficult thing to think about. And it feels lonely. It is just me in my room. I'm not living with a loved one and then, who I can go to and hug and stuff. When I cry and stuff, when I have these moments, I do tend to call and be or text or be hey, what are you up to? Can we talk about random stuff? Why cyberpunk is meant to be dystopian and why certain series work so well with it, or blah blah blah, why space operas are great, just something. My hair just keeps keeps, I can't control this either. Anyway. So, I think I just needed to get it out there. I think I just wanted to document this, and I wanted to pose the question: what makes us worthy? What is it at the center of each person that we can really hold on to? It's very difficult stripping off all the layers, letting go of people mentally, if not fully letting them go, but just preparing for the possibility that you might need to do that when they do that to you, or if they do that to you, because you never know. I still trust the people around me that they'll be there for as long as they can. Not forever maybe, but as long as they can, they probably will be here with me. And for as long as I can, I'll be here with them. So yeah. We'll see how it turns out. If it all goes horribly, guess you'll just see me crash and burn. I hope you just don't have to go through that. 1, 2, 3. Moved up to a new city, June is dawning down on me, and all that I can find. A sickly romance in the air, lovers stroll without a care in sight. Oh, this can't be right, 'cause the sun's engaged to the sky, and my best friend's found a new guy. I'm only getting older, I've never had a shoulder to cry on, someone to call mine. Everybody's falling in love and I'm falling behind. Do 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 do. Touched the ocean, fell right in, stepped outside and burned my skin. My life won't go my way. Bossa Nova in my room, hope I'll find someone to love, because the sun's engaged to the sky and my best friend's found a new guy. I'm only getting older, I've never had a shoulder to cry on, someone to call mine. Everybody's falling in love and I'm falling behind. Everybody's falling in love, everybody's falling in love. Everybody's falling in love, but me. 1, 2, 3.